All right, just want to say good afternoon to everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Friday. It's nice and sunny here in sunny California, sunny Southern California. Particularly here in Newport Beach, and Jan's joining us from the Riverside office. And our special guest speaker for today is Andrew Berger. He is manager of client and advisor advisor. Let me make sure I get this right. He is the manager of Andrew. Can you pipe in a little bit and tell me?
Oh yeah, so I'm the manager of client and advisor technology. So
okay,
thanks for having me.
He's the manager of client and advisor technology. I'm going to introduce Andrew as our featured speaker once we have everyone into the meeting. And so that should be momentarily. How's the weather in Riverside, Janice?
Nice and warm, always sunshiny. It's beautiful outside.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful.
It's to be cool inside too.
Okay, very good, very good. And Andrew, your weather there, maybe you can give our clients a weather report.
Oh yeah, so I'm coming from St. Petersburg, Florida, in the Tampa Bay area, and I live about 15 minutes away from our corporate headquarters. So we've had really terrific weather here. It's in the high 70s and sunny, so certainly can't complain.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, I think most of the clients that are joining us today are from California, but we have a few from Arizona as well, and maybe a couple other states. So we're about, I think, how many more do we have to go, Adam?
Oh, we're at 42 people.
Okay, all right. So, okay, we're at 42 people that have joined in already, and so everybody has been invited into the meeting at this point. Adam?
Yep.
Yep. All right. So because everyone is here, we're going to go ahead and get started. The meeting's going to go in two parts. We're going to start off with Andrew Berger, and he's going to do his thing. When we were going through our due diligence process the last 3.5 years, believe it or not, we looked at about a dozen firms. That's 12. Okay, and we narrowed our choices down to 3 firms, and our top 3 included Raymond James. And one of the things that stood out about Raymond James, in addition to the firm being a client-first, client-centered, having a client-centered culture, which was very important for us with our target clientele. As you know, 98% of our clients are retired U.S. government agency retirees. Our clients hail from the CIA, Department of Defense, Homeland Security, Social Security Administration. We have Department of Agriculture, SBA. In fact, I didn't know until 3 years ago that the SBA was a government agency. And we've brought on several clients from the SBA, Small Business Association. And some of our favorite postal agency clients, which make up the mass majority of our clientele. So when we were going through this process, one of the things that stood out about Raymond James is out of all the firms that we considered, they spent more money than any of them in the areas of technology and cybersecurity. And so they take, cybersecurity is a real thing with these guys. And they really take keeping your accounts and client information safe. They take that very seriously. So with that, I'd like to introduce Andrew Berger and let him take it from here. Andrew.
Hey, thanks so much, Ron. So basically the format is going to be, I'll start out with a little overview of what makes Raymond James different from our peers in the financial services industry. And so in a few moments, I'll share my screen with you. I'll spend some time with you in PowerPoint just to give a little background about my group and talk about our headcount. And then we'll do a quick overview of client access And I'll just highlight, one of my favorite features, Raymond James Vault, and how some other clients are using it. But a little bit about me. I've been with Raymond James a little over 10 years now, and I actually came from another firm in the financial services industry, Franklin Templeton, which is actually based out of California, but has a small satellite office in Florida. But in this current role, I work primarily with advisors. And so when things are back to normal, I'm usually on the road, sometimes 7 to 12 days out of the month, and I'm speaking on conferences or visiting advisors in the field and talking about all the new technology that we're working on and collecting feedback. But I also help out with client events like this. And so this is kind of fun for me to share what we do to keep our clients safe. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you right now. And we'll spend a little bit of time in PowerPoint. And so you should see my screen refresh right now, and you should see this little coat of arms or logo from our Cyber Threat Center here at the home office. And so they were actually important enough to create their own logo for these presentations. So basically, in this world that we live in, there are a lot of firms that have got, bad PR, right? They end up in headlines because they were hacked and they were kind of lackadaisical on their budget or their resources or what they do to keep their clients safe. And so Raymond James, as Rod mentioned, takes this very, very seriously. And in addition to all of our automated defenses, we have this whole team at the home office that specifically acts as the human counterpart to all of the bad guys out there, all of these bad entities. And when you talk about numbers, IT is actually the biggest group here at Raymond James. So we have over 1,400 associates in IT, and that's all here in the US. So Raymond James doesn't outsource anything outside of the firm. We don't outsource anything outside of the country. Our main home office is in Florida, but we have sites in Southfield, Michigan, Memphis, Tennessee. We have a data center. All of our servers are actually in the mountains north of Denver. We thought if that was safe for the government for keeping NORAD launch control up there, then that would be safe to keep our clients' financial data. And we have offices in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area from the corporate side. But, with that big head count, we spend a lot of money on technology. So we actually spend over $400 million a year for an annual IT investment. And I put an emphasis on each year because sometimes you might see firms in the news or in articles, they'll put up a big number and say, we've spent this much on technology. Sometimes the time frame for that might be vague. That might be a 3-year period, that might be a 5-year period, that could be a 10-year period. We realize that we have to consistently innovate and adopt the latest technology and bring in the best talent. And we have to do that quicker than our adversaries do. And so that's why we allocate such a big budget every year for technology. We're constantly growing, we're constantly getting better. And we realize that we have to be the best to keep our clients safe. And I don't expect everyone to understand this slide. This is more of a visual aid. But to give everyone some background on what you're looking at here, we're a Fortune 500 firm. And typically, firms of our size will have sometimes 1 or 2 or 3 automated systems in place to keep them safe. All these little icons that you see, and for those of you that are just dialed in via phone, there's well over a dozen little icons in this chart that kind of looks like an onion, right? So we have 3 to 4 times the amount of software, AI, encryption, firewalls in place than a typical financial services firm or Fortune 500 company of our size. Again, that goes in line with our culture of being very, very conservative, and we would rather have something that's significantly over the top and well protected than not spend enough. Now, more importantly than all of the software that we have in place is this team of men and women that are working 24 hours a day. And so we're looking at a picture of our Cyber Threat Center and Command Center at the home office down here in Florida. And this room kind of looks like something out of the Pentagon or one of these NCIS shows that you'd see on TV. These screens go back over 300 yards, and there's all these charts and graphs and real-time data coming in. And, you know, here in St. Petersburg, we're across the bridge from MacDill Air Force Base, which is the home of U.S. Special Operations Command for the whole world. So we actually have a great pipeline with them. We hire former military, including former NSA. We actually had the former NSA director, Admiral Mike McGonnell, touring our home office last year and as our keynote speaker for cybersecurity. And so more important than, you know, all of the tech spend, all of those automated systems, this unique team of men and women has some pretty neat capacities that they work in. So one of those capacities is from a reconnaissance standpoint, right? We're actually going out anonymously on the web or the dark web, and we're looking for the latest and greatest, biggest and baddest threat. What's the newest virus? What's the newest email scam? What's the newest worm? How can we be proactive and find out about it ahead of time to work with vendors like Microsoft to prepare ourselves before this even hits headlines or hits the news? And the other side of that team, who better to learn from than the actual hackers themselves? So what we do is we'll go out and we'll create these traps, and they're called honeypots. And it's made to look like Raymond James is out to lunch and we haven't done our homework, and it's a trap that's made to attract all these hackers in from around the world. And they may think they're getting into our systems and mining fake client data, and we're actually sitting behind the scenes hidden without them knowing it. And we're watching them, we're recording them, we can reverse engineer the latest tactics and tech. And we also work closely with the FBI and the Department of Justice to pursue them and prosecute them here in the US. Last year, we were recognized by Homeland Security and the Department of Treasury for our collaborative efforts, and also our efforts to share information with other financial services firms. So we actually kind of act as a resource for our peers in the industry. And what we've done is, and I'm sure all of you have seen this, or most of you, we're the only big financial services firm on the street based on our investment and based on our human capital and our software that feels comfortable enough to put in writing, to say online and in your client brochures, that we'll reimburse you for actual losses in any of your Raymond James accounts due to unauthorized access to our system that occurs through no fault of your own. So we feel very comfortable offering this. We've never even come close to using it, but we're very thankful for our resources and the men and women that support us in this capacity that keep us safe. So I'll kind of keep it high level with what we do to keep your identity and information safe. And I was going to segue into the next section, just highlighting a few things that I like from client access. So earlier, I brought up the team website here. And for those of you that haven't signed up yet, basically, you could go to the team website like this, and underneath client access that I'm hovering over, there's a button. Instead of online login, you could click create account. And you can do this, whoops, I got ahead of myself. I'm already logged into my own demonstration account. Apologies for that. You basically hit create account, and it'll take you to a page where you can enter your name and information. All of this information is secure and encrypted. I would recommend doing this on your home Wi-Fi, though. I always say definitely a bad habit to pay bills or sign up for online access if you're on public Wi-Fi somewhere like a Starbucks or a coffee shop, right? I'm sure most of you are all staying inside and in distancing anyway. But it's a pretty easy process to set up your online access, and all you need is your brokerage account number and your social security number and date of birth. And our helpline is also listed. So if you're doing this on the weekend or during the day, you can call our client support line, and you're going to get someone in the US at the home office to support you if you have questions about setting this up. But beyond that, what I'll do now is I'll quickly I'll log into my demonstration account through the team website here. We've creatively called my login tech demo accounts. And I'll highlight some of the items that I like when I log in. So, what you're looking at right now is a summary page of my demonstration accounts here. And you're going to see this edit button in a number of different places. So what I do, what a lot of clients do, either you can do it or you can work with Rod and the team to help you nickname these. You can nickname your groups of accounts by clicking edit, or you can nickname your individual accounts. And this is just kind of nice because it's easy to follow. You can set it up however you like, remembering which account refers to which type of investment, and then it'll be customized each time you log in. Up top, there's just a few helpful navigation points. You've only got 4 main points here for your accounts, account services, Vault, and market research. We're going to talk about Vault right after I mention a little piece about hopping in your portfolio. If you ever were to click on your portfolio here, basically you could go in and you could look at all of the securities across all of your accounts simultaneously. And this is pretty nice because it gives you a description, it gives you the current value, amount invested, and it also has estimated annual income or yield. For those of you that like using Excel, all of this data is easy to export to Excel with 1 click or print. And if you want to view it in a specific way, you can edit columns, or Rod and the team can help you out. You can click this edit column button and you can actually check the boxes off for data that you want to see and even rearrange the order. Another helpful item in here to point out is by current value, you can also look at all of your activity. So you can actually make sure that you have all your accounts selected or multiple accounts, and you can enter in a custom date range and basically see activity that's hit your account. So this is kind of the technical and boring stuff. I'm going to share a little bit about a tool called Vault that I like using. And so Raymond James Vault you can think of as a secure and encrypted virtual filing cabinet. And it's free of charge for clients, and there's no limit to the amount of data that you store in there. So you're never going to see a slider bar that gives you a percentage or how much you're filling up. Now, think of this as like your secure and encrypted filing cabinet, but it's a lot more safe than something traditional like the Apple iCloud. And I've seen a lot of clients work with their advisor teams to maybe help get organized. And examples I've seen might include, if you have wills, trust documents, it could be estate or insurance paperwork. Once we're traveling again, I see clients actually take pictures of their passport and back that up in their cloud for safekeeping. And there's a few ways that works. If you were to bring documents in the office, Rod and the team could help scan those for you and upload those. And what's nice about that is, if I need my homeowner's policy 3 months from now, I can just go to my Raymond James Client Access from my phone or tablet or right on my computer, and I can open it up in a few seconds. I can also easily print it out. As a client too, being a Florida native, we're coming up on hurricane season. And so what I've seen a lot of clients do is you can actually take photo or video from your tablet or from your iPhone, and you can upload that to your Raymond James storage. We can even help you create folders within your Raymond James cloud too. So again, a lot of clients might do an insurance folder, and I see them do a video walkthrough of their home. It might be personal contents of a safe, it might be a boat, whatever they want, and they back that up for safekeeping, just for peace of mind in their insurance folder. Going back to that passport, we've had clients that were traveling abroad, and This is a situation I never want to be in, but their passport or wallet was stolen, right? And so a lot of clients will keep a picture of their passport in their Raymond James cloud, and that's available right through the website. It's also available through the Raymond James app as well. So just things to keep in mind. It's a great collaborative piece, and it's a two-way street. Rod and the team have the ability to create really phenomenal client review packets that have a lot of helpful information that's easy to follow, and they can customize it to what you'd want to see for your portfolio. Instead of using email, we could publish that right to your Vault access as well. So you'd have not only your personal stuff, but you'd have helpful information that you'd want to see about quarterly or monthly reports or whatever the team has prepared for you. So I wanted to keep this kind of right around 15 to 20 minutes just to give you a little overview and talk about my group. I'll leave it open to any questions if there are any, and if not, we'll segue into the next portion of the call. And by the way, if you think of something after the call, I work closely with Rod and the team at the home office. Feel free to send them a message, and they'll work with me and get you an answer to what you have if you think of something afterwards.
All right. Okay, I guess Andrew, you did such a great job, man. You answered all their questions during the process. So kudos to Andrew. So let's all give a virtual hand clap to Andrew for doing such a wonderful job.
Thanks, everyone, and
right.
great to meet you virtually, and happy to be a resource for you all moving forward. But great attendance here, and happy to help in any way.
Thanks so much, Andrew. And we look forward. I understand Jen's going to have you down for another client webinar for next month. We're looking forward to that.
So this is not the last of me. I would be happy to hop on again moving forward and share, some of my favorite things and new things that we're coming out with, and best practices that a lot of our other clients are using.
Yeah, that's so impressive. Just to get some clarification, Andrew, you said the firm spends over, did I understand you correct, $400 million per year?
A year, correct.
Wow. That's crazy. That's a lot of money.
Correct.
Well,
oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, that's why we make a point where, you see a lot of other firms in the news throwing out big numbers, but that might be over a 10-year or 5-year time frame, and that's a yearly spend for us so that we have the latest and greatest best tech to keep everyone protected.
Wonderful. Well, we certainly appreciate that.
Yeah.
And so at this time, guys, I think that's going to conclude our session for today. We really look forward to sharing some great information with you in 2 weeks. Our featured speaker is going to be a long-time friend of our firm, Michael Brown, attorney Michael Brown. Many of you have worked with him in the past. Michael is going to talk about wills and trust and some more exciting things along those lines. And also during that particular webinar, I will be going over our firm's outlook, market outlook for the balance of 2020. So be on the lookout for that. And if you, in fact, my staff will get a copy of that emailed out to you in advance. So you should have that sometime next week. And for those that have not scheduled a review with me, we've reviewed over 90% of our clients. But for those that have not received a recent review, reach out to us, and the staff will get you scheduled for a virtual review meeting with me. Again, we appreciate you, and we are so excited for 2020, the opportunities that are available that have presented themselves. And we just want to wish everyone all the best. Stay healthy, stay well, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thanks.